Not everybody can be famous, but everyone can be great. Because greatness is determined by service. We need to heed Dr. King's warnings. He stated, the most dangerous criminal may be the man gifted with reason, but with no morals. We must be careful with our education. We need to be taught our basic subjects, but we must also learn about the world and the people around us. We must learn about different culture, different people.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, intelligence plus character. That is the goal of true education. To bring back true education in America, we must bring back the character in our society that first allowed for education to prosper. As child psychologist B.F. Skinner said, we shouldn't teach great books. We should teach a love of reading. To bring back true education in America, we need to rethink the way we do education. There is only a small population of students that truly understand the purpose of education, and they are left to scramble together the time to complete enormous amounts of work that accumulate at a ridiculous pace. We must teach students to love education, because as novelist H.G. Wells cleverly stated, human history becomes more and more a race between education and catastrophe. When humans are not educated, we revert to our basic animalistic tendencies. When humans are not educated, we fight, we have wars, we kill, we slaughter, and we trick ourselves into reasoning the unreasonable in our minds. As Dr. King said, it would be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment. That moment has not ended, ladies and gentlemen. Rather, we are rethinking this moment, a moment focusing less on social injustice and more on social understanding. I incite you, my brothers and sisters. Rather, I implore you to reach out and understand, to learn and educate ourselves. Because we must remember that perhaps we cannot all love each other, but that does not excuse us from attempting to understand each other. Thank you.
When thinking of the social wrongs in society, you have those such as theft, dishonesty, or that one teacher who won't raise your grade by that one point. And then there are those of a greater degree, such as tyranny, oppression, and war. When thinking about these wrongs, do you feel able to fight them? Better yet, are you equipped? In order to create change, do you need to be a Superman? Do you need the wealth of an Oprah to touch the many lives she did? Do you need the charisma of a Dr. King to raise awareness on social issues? No. You just have to be educated. Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change society. It is the only thing that ever has. Through awareness, belief, and courage, guided through education, you are provided with the tools to effect change. Education is your sense of awareness, the self-image with tools to maintain it. Getting an education is like becoming a teacher. You need to be made a teacher. By choosing menus of education and applying it to life, you are telling yourself you stand on one side of the social divide. Education jumps that truth into you. Together, we become a chorus of voices crying for change. To analyze your state and realize it's not your fate is the first step in change. This means if you're like me and the other 91% of Americans and are happy with your congressman, with the exception of Congressman Connolly, you're happy to change that. But if you choose, you can live a life of comforting illusion. You see, we're given the tools to effect change. For Joseph McNeil, this was his mindset. He educated himself on societies like colonial America that fought against unfair principles. He realized that if he refused to act, then who would?
Malcolm X said tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Dr. King knew that there needed to be a change and that if he wanted to see one, he had to go out and do it himself. He had to prepare.
On June 5th, 1955, he received his Doctor of Philosophy from Boston College. And on that day, on that special day, he was able to look at every single one of his secret admirers and tell them he had a love letter for the world. And they listened, not only because his subject agreed with his predicate, but that the adjectives he was using to describe these forbidden verbs punctured the noun seemingly invisible hearts. And the change came. The change came, but there's still change to come. The change came, but we still need that change. Don't think it was easy for Dr. King. Yes, he was extraordinary and spectacular and all the other razzle-dazzle words your imagination can discover, but so are you. Your past, it may create these concrete fences you hold in the present, and it may be disguised as anger or laziness, but I know that they're there to be a symbol that shows that there was never a pot of gold at the end of your rainbow. Because the rainbow's never existed, it still pours rain in your storm, and school feels like that gushing wind wanting to steal your umbrella, but it's got a disguise too. It's really that bottom pool, that base tub, that tilt mechanism that holds everything together. It makes you strong. Not that you weren't strong and mighty before, but every skyscraper needs its foundation. Or it falls. And you will fall because this world can make worms meat of all of us. We've learned that in the 1/3 of the story our textbooks tell us. But I've still got faith the size of a mustard seed. And with that mustard seed, the photosynthesis of my life will continue. And I'll realize that maybe those heroes, those heroines of our past were maybe just the rough draft. And my education will form the red pen that goes through all their troubled lines, and I'll stand here, right here as the final copy. What if my generation and generations to come embrace that? And my daughter stands here and says that I'm the rough draft and she's the final copy. And the cycle continues, and continues, and continues until we're all invincible. Thank you.